Did you hear that the Step 1 exam is about to be pass-fail? Yeah, Step 1 exam, about to be pass-fail. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I think about this and who the biggest loser is. Hey guys, my name is Dr. Safo Asante. I'm the successful IMG, successful because I matched, and I'm here so that you can as well. Alright guys, so this video might be a little bit long, so I'm going to put the timestamps to different sections down below. If you can't make it to the whole video, just go to the timestamps down below and click to whatever section that you want to go to. I'm going to divide the video into different sections. The sections are going to be an overview of the USMLE in general, why the Step 1 exam is important, why they decided to change the Step 1 exam to pass-fail, pros and cons, and then finally the biggest loser in this game, because there's somebody who's definitely a big loser in this. So what are the USMLE exams? The USMLE exams are standardized exams that we have to take whilst we are in medical school. There are three different exams. First one is the Step 1 exam, the USMLE Step 1 specifically, and that covers basic sciences knowledge that we learn in the first 2 years in medical school. Then we have the USMLE Step 2 CK, which is USMLE Step 2 clinical knowledge. And what that entails is whatever knowledge that we use in the hospital, in the clinics, whatever knowledge we use in clinics, and the things that we actually use to practice medicine. And then the last exam is a Step 2 clinical skills exam. We call it a Step 2 CS, and that entails standardized patient encounter, where they try to see whether you can speak English, and then also see whether you can handle the patient encounter and come up with a diagnosis. Basically, you see 12 patients, you go from room to room, you do a full patient encounter, and then see if you can come up with a diagnosis and supporting points. So those are the USMLE exams. So why is this exam so important? The Step 1 exam is a gateway exam. Let me explain. The match is a very competitive endeavor. I already spoke about that in my other two videos, and I think you should check them down below, okay? And once you're looking down below, I think you know what you need to do. Hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. This will help me beat the YouTube algorithm. Just make me feel good, right? So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But anyway, the Step 1 exam is a really, really important exam because it's a gateway exam. The reason why it's a gateway exam is because programs use this exam to filter out applicants. Let me explain. You have about 3,000 to 5,000 applications per program. They only have a few amount of staff. Like our program had a few staff, and there's no way that they can go through all 3,000 to 5,000 applications. But at the same time, they still need to get good applicants that will become good residents. And one way to do that is they filter people out. So they put filters in to the computer software that they use to download the programs. I don't know which one software that is, but they use filters to weed people out. So these filters weed people out so that they don't even take a look at the people that have been filtered out. So a lot of people are filtered out. Okay, now, out of all the STEP exams that we take, the one that weighs the most per consensus is the Step 1 exam. This Step 1 exam, so if you don't do well in that Step 1 exam, you get filtered out and they don't even take a look at your application. And that's in general. Now, when you're looking out the very competitive specialties, they have a high Step 1 cutoff. So if you don't meet that cutoff or you don't get a score above that, it's difficult for you to match into those specialties. This leads us to why they were trying to change it. They wanted to change the pass-fail. They said they wanted to change the pass-fail because of all the stress that students feel towards the Step 1 exam. Because they're so stressed about it, because they see the importance of the Step 1 exam, they spend most of their time studying for that Step 1 exam. And they might even at times neglect studying for other classes and so on. And that's what they don't want. So that's why they made it pass-fail. They're saying that the Step 1 exam is basic science exam, and it's basic sciences, so it's not like you're using it in clinic or in the hospital on a regular basis. You're not going to be using the Krebs cycle on a regular basis. Like memorizing that won't necessarily help you. It'll help you understand specific things, but it won't necessarily help you practice great medicine necessarily. So that's why they wanted to get rid of it. Now, how does that affect us? Let's look at the pros and cons. Unfortunately, I only have one pro, and that pro is that the step 1 exam, which is now pass-fail, there's less stress associated with it. There's still some stress because you still have to pass the exam, but it's not as much stress as there was before. That's the only pro that I can come up with. Now, the cons, the first one is, because you've taken out the step 1 exam, now we only have the step 2 CK, which has a score. Programs still need to filter people out with an objective thing, and they can't just filter you out putting filters based on specific things in your personal statement. As far as I can tell, I don't think they can. So they will have to turn to something else that's objective, and that objective thing is a step 2 CK. So now the step 2 CK exam becomes the exam, whereas initially we used to have the step 1 exam and step 2 CK exam, so that if we didn't do too good in the step 1 exam, we could do a lot better in the step 2 CK exam. Now it's all boils down to step 2 CK exam. If you don't do well in the step 2 CK exam, that's it. Right? So because that would happen, there's a lot more stress attached to taking the step 2 CK. So I don't think that they are alleviating stress, which is their main purpose. Instead, they're making it the stress a lot more. Now, the second thing is, it will be difficult to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack if you are not the ideal candidate. I spoke about the ideal candidate in my prior video. You can just check the link down below, or if I can learn how to link it up below up here, I'll try to link it up here. So looking at all that, who is the one that loses the most? The one that loses the most, I think, are the IMGs. IMGs, for the most part, or foreign medical students, for the most part, have a tough time getting into really competitive specialties. They can get into really competitive specialties, but they have a tougher time because of the stigma attached to being a foreign medical student. So they used to use, among other things, really, really high step 1 scores, step 2 CK scores to just differentiate themselves to the extent that you cannot ignore them. And then the extra things that they will do in addition to that, like research, do really well in rotations, getting great, amazing grades. That's been taken, like the thing that they use to differentiate themselves has been taken away from them. Now it just boils down to step 2 CK, and if they don't do well in the step 2 CK, that's a problem. It becomes even more difficult to make it into surgery, into dermatology, into plastics. So that's why I think the person that loses the most is the foreign medical student or the international medical student. Please like, subscribe. Dr. Safwa Satya.